Look at the production value, chat. Look at the production value. It's cinema. It's cinema. Okay, guys, you're Joel. I now have you live. Go ahead and hit that unmute button.
All right.
All
hey,
right.
Mike.
Beautiful. Joel, let me read your blurb, and then we can get into the discussion. Joel is a longtime labor organizer. His entire working life has been spent in the labor movement. He was born in Honduras and raised in a Jewish family. His life and work experience have led him to join DSA and organize proudly as a Democratic Socialist. He is running for Jersey City Council in Ward B to fight for a city that works for working people, not just real estate developers and the 1%. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, great. Welcome on in. I'm Mike from PA. This is the Central Committee stream. This is one of the homes of Democratic Socialist praxis on Twitch. Welcome in if you guys have never watched. Nice to meet you. If you have, then you know what we're about. I was recently contacted by some of your supporters, and they said, hey, Mike, there are two great Democratic Socialists running in Jersey City, and we need to help them out. And so I wanted to invite you guys on. And so I guess just to kick off the discussion, and we'll start with Jake. Why are you running for office? Do you think it's important for socialists to run for office? And how do you connect like socialist politics, which we normally are thinking about big issues like Medicare for all, with a local campaign? And go ahead and say hi or anything I left out of your bio.
No, Mike, first of all, I just want to say thank you again for having us on, and love the hair. Inspiration to us all. I'll get there one day, maybe.
My hair is like really dry right now. I gotta hit it with oil or something, but you know how it is. It's frizzing out. It's awful. It's dry. So thank you for the compliment, but.
No, of course. I mean, I conditioned this morning, but we can have a side chat maybe about offline. We can
give me tips. Give me more tips. Yes. What oil are you using, if any? Like, I need to know.
Actually, a volunteer on the campaign made me a homemade special hair oil that you got to shake up because it's like it's homemade, real from the kitchen sink kind of vibe. So shout out to Matt. Thanks for making it.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that.
Well, I'll share. I'm Jake Ephros. I'm running here in Ward D in Jersey City, which is the Heights, the Slopes. We have a little bit of downtown Jersey City, and I'm running because our city is working way more for the Kushner developers, the Lafrax, the Goldman Sachs, and not for working class people in our city. The rent is too damn high, and the cost of living is totally out of control. So we have to organize and campaign to tackle those issues while winning the quality of life that we deserve. So Joel and I are running on a shared platform of universal rent control for every single tenant in Jersey City, universal childcare to cover kids 0 through 2. So no parent has to go broke or choose between rent and groceries or childcare, and winning safe, clean, green streets that all of us deserve. And to answer your question, I mean, I think it's important that socialists and Democratic Socialists, we run for office because, especially at the local level, our city governments or town councils, right? There's a lot of really concrete, tangible change that can be done in our cities. And if we're going to fight the right, if we're going to fight fascist Trump and the authoritarian rise in this country, we're going to have to start really locally to build up mass organization. And this isn't just running so that we can win, so that we can say we have X number of DSA members or socialists or leftists in office, but it's so that we can use these elected offices to help build a mass movement to win the agenda that not only reforms, but really transforms who's in power and actually places working people in power. Because Joel and I, when we get elected...
Can I just ask your staff to do one thing for me real quick? Could they create a campaign on Act Blue that has a 50-50 split for you guys?
Can you
do that? Can you give me a link like that? That would
They're
be the
going to get it
best.
to you.
That would be the
You
best.
have-
I'm trying to
yeah.
make sure that we have both of your links, but just as advice. Okay, beautiful.
We
Thank
have
you
a-
so much.
No, thank you.
Okay, keep going. Sorry about that.
No problem. I'll wrap up my Gettysburg address about why I'm running. But no, I think it's really important that we contest for power in the state, and use those positions as platforms and vehicles for really building up the movement that we need to put working class people in power and kick the capitalists out of power. Truly.
All right, Joel. Same question to you. Why are you running, and why is it important for socialists to run, and anything from your biography that you thought might inform your decision?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for having us on, Mike.
No worries. Of course.
Yeah. And apologies for like the late arrival.
Oh, don't even mention it.
What you missed off camera was I was dashing into my campaign office and the door was locked, so I ran right into the door
Oh,
right before this. But anyway,
big shiner for the campaign trail.
yes. I'm a busy guy. So yeah, thanks for reading the bio. I'm very fortunate to have only worked for labor unions my entire working life, with the exception of 1 month. I got to work for the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2016 in Pennsylvania.
Nice. Whereabouts?
So I was in Northeast Pennsylvania, so like Reading, Scranton, Bethlehem, Allentown, Berks County up there.
Well, that's up. That's up and down. That's the whole east.
Yeah.
Not southeast, just the east, central east, northeast, and a little bit of like the center. You know, I see where you are. Yeah, I see how they were grouped together. I get it.
So yeah, no, that was an amazing experience to see the organizing on that campaign. And I would say Bernie's run and his kind of like challenge to people on the left to run for local office was a big part of why I decided to run. So
Yeah.
we had a DSA for Bernie campaign in 2019, 2020. And of course, 2020 was the, semi-apocalypse. And so we didn't get to do the campaign that we had planned to do in New Jersey. But we were inspired by socialists running all across the country and said, hey, maybe we could do this in New Jersey. So I ran in the same ward, in Ward B of Jersey City in 2021. And with DSA's endorsement and organizing support, we came within 185 votes of unseating an incumbent who was on the mayor's team, who was part of a $1 million war chest. So had to run again.
This is so silly. Like, can I just jump in to say, chat, that the money that is being injected into our politics is going like exponential. It used to be that you could run for like state representative for like $100,000, and you could run for Congress for 1.5 million. The whole like a contested campaign that went all the way to November. Now people are injecting millions of dollars into like city council races. This is incomprehensible.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot at stake for real estate in Jersey City. There's not that much land left to develop.
Yeah.
And so they, really want to have someone in government that will be acquiescent to their interests. So, inspired by DSA electeds and campaigns all over the country, we built an amazing campaign, and something I'll be forever proud of is, even though we didn't win the election in 2021, we won in-person voting on election day.
Huge.
So yes, we came close in vote by mail, not so close early voting, but we're learning that lesson this time around. But in-person voting on election day, we had a humongous team out there with energy, and we won the vote on election day in 2021.
So that's one of the things that I'm, a former candidate campaign worker myself. So one of the things I like to ask you guys is, how is the distribution of effort? Are you like a field first campaign, or are you working on digital? How are you organizing your campaign to kind of take advantage of the new terrain that we're on? And do you feel that talking about issues of international import like Gaza can be helpful in drawing a contrast between yourself and like more establishment Dems? Because, 80% of Democrats are pro-Palestine now, and the establishment Democrats are scared shitless of the donor class and of AIPAC money. So they're oftentimes scared to speak truth to power. Is that something that you guys have done? Have you taken advantage of like the organizing around Gaza in your local area? And how do you see like how you should organize a campaign as a left-wing candidate?
So I'll go first, and then I'll, lay it up to Jake. But we are a field first campaign. We have to be in the digital space. People are on their phones a lot. So
We're on our phones right now.
Yeah, we gotta catch eyeballs, and we do some, Jake and someone said we're like a buddy cop movie, watching the two of us. So yeah, but field wins elections. In terms of the question on what it's like to be a left-wing candidate with what's going on internationally, so we had a completely grassroots campaign for the uncommitted movement in the presidential primary in 2024.
Oh, yeah.
Almost 20% of Ward B voters voted uncommitted, and that was with like no mail, almost no canvassing or phone banking. And this is the layup to Jake, because Jake was one of the main organizers for a ceasefire resolution in the Jersey City Council, and he could talk a little bit about the work that he did.
Thanks, Joel. Yeah. Joel and I are both Jewish candidates, and Jewish Democratic Socialists. And, we just did a video the other day where we called out this piece of legislation that's going through our state house here in New Jersey that would overly broadly define criticism of Israel as anti-Semitism. It's an international issue, and like it's right here in New Jersey. It's going to be here in our classrooms. Like this is going to be litigated, and there's going to be more and more witch hunts around this. So it's really felt. I'm very proudly and like outspokenly anti-Zionist, and have been organizing for ceasefire resolution, as Joel said, in Jersey City, and part of like protest movement, pro-Palestine protest movement. This is just like one example of why people are so fed up with the Democratic establishment, and are just so sick of the same, if not actively nefarious, malicious Democratic establishment politics. Like it's like doing nothing to stop the rise of authoritarianism. So people are really fed up, and that kind of agitational spirit around we deserve better. Why the hell are we not getting better? Well, one reason is that we're sending weapons of war to a genocide in Gaza, and not paying for healthcare and schools here in Jersey City. Like this is and housing, right? And public housing. For God's sakes, like so this is widely and deeply felt. And I think that one of our jobs is to help connect dots, right? I think like a lot of people get an onslaught of news, and one of our jobs is as candidates, as organizers, whether you're a candidate or not, is to help people draw the connections between all of these different things. And that's why I really like knocking on the doors. Okay, so now organic circle back to the original question, knocking on doors, talking to people face to face, the field program. This just is it's irreplaceable in these campaigns, because we're not going to have the same money for TV ads, we're doing digital, we're doing mailers, but we're just not going to be able to compete
They're
with
doing a lot of
mail.
TV,
I think they'll do some, but
like
it's a
broadcast
lot
or
of
like cable. That's
good
gotta be
question.
really expensive.
I think the
I mean,
mayoral campaigns will be in that space, but for a ward race, where ain't no one paying for that.
Yeah. I was about to be mind blown, is what I was gonna say. I was like, holy crap, that stuff is not cheap. And I don't think it has a lot of juice anymore. If I'm being honest with you. I think the campaigns of the future are ones that are in Zoran's meld, which I think he did do some TV because they have matching funds over there. But he was really able to bring out a whole bunch of people that were not normally part of the political sphere. Like, I'm sure you've talked about Zoran a million times, and I'm sorry for bringing him up again, but I was somebody who supported him when he was at 1%. And we saw that, it's hard to copy someone who's so clearly, really, really good at making social media content, especially, let's be honest. Mayor of New York City is one of the most important races of the year. It's not a small race. It is, the biggest city in America. But do you see the way that Zoran was able to get new people to show up because of his positions being, so brave and not, he wasn't ashamed to be pro-Palestine. He wasn't acting defensive. He was actually, he was leaning forward and leaning on it and saying, you're goddamn right. I'm not going to visit Israel. Like, I'm going to stay here in New York. I believe in a country with equal rights. I believe in, an arms embargo or BDS, and being a sign of his authenticity and connection. And is that something that you guys have also felt, like that a lot of your grassroots energy comes from that authenticity on issues like that?
Jake, you want to take that one?
Short answer, short answer, yes. I mean, we all know Zoran won because of his winning smile. That's really what it was. And Joel and I try to make that. Yeah. No, I mean, like, that campaign was electric because he didn't back down. And he was laser focused. He even used the word laser focused over and over again. Because he wanted to demonstrate, we're staying on track. Like, this is a really specific message we have, that we deserve more. And here's why we're not getting it. It's because the rich are taking it from us and we're going to get it back. And here's how we do it. We build a movement. And I think that directness, it pissed off a lot of, again, Democratic establishment people who, have made their careers in communicating exactly the right message to, not upset the big donors, but also try and play, like, that directness, that authenticity that cuts through that whole class of people who build their careers on trying to do this balancing act of bringing working people and capitalists into one project, and say, actually, let's just talk to working families. Like, let's just do that. Let's communicate directly. So yeah, we've been working on that here, and it resonates with people.
Yeah. This is one question I have for you guys, because you're running for a local spot, like, space. Is there anything that is kind of been a motivation for you in, like, the history of socialism in America, or has there have been anything that you're kind of drawing on, maybe other socialist movements around the world? Like, how do you see what is the horizon of a socialist, council member?
I'm drawing on lessons of Joel's 2021 race. That's really the biggest. No, Joel.
Like, what I mean is, like, very specifically, like, what does a socialist municipal government look like?
I'll take that one. So just to draw on a very recent experience, we had a local fundraiser in my ward last week, and what was really cool about it was we raised money. No, I'm kidding. No, the thing that was really
No,
cool
don't be
was,
shy. By the way, I judge you on whether or not you are shy about asking for money on this stream, because if you are, that's not a good sign. You need to get over your shyness and be like, give us money now.
yes,
Put your money
and
where your mouth is.
we see it
There's a
coming
lot of
in.
okay. Can I make a rant real quick? There's a lot
Sure.
of people here who are like these work from home guys. They have this on the other monitor. They're chilling on their bullshit job. You know who you are. You know, you work, you have a TPS report. You work 5 hours of actual work per week. Take your IT money and give these guys $100, $200, $300.
We will spend it well. Yes, I could say from losing by 185 votes, I was
Exactly.
like, another $2,000, another 4,000, 5,000. Anyway, so in terms of what we're drawing on, just to be like hyper local. So we had this fundraiser at my friend's house. She is a retired industrial hygienist, which meant she would go clean up toxic waste sites and make work sites safe for workers. She helped organize her union and joined DSA in the past few years. There are also people from the neighborhood that are doing like just really cool stuff that are not yet DSA members. That's what I call them, not yet DSA members. A Newark teacher who's been organizing against the genocide in Gaza, a local architect who's been doing similar organizing, someone who lives right up the street from our campaign office, who's a professor. She's been doing solidarity work at the ICE detention center and accompanying and translating for family members. And just to be like, hey, like everybody is like, we're around. Like leftists are here. And the key, I think, to win is to get organized and to get together and be in the same space and pick fights that we can win. And our campaign and Jake's campaign are fights that we can win. I will geek out for a second and say, I was born in Honduras, and to see the swing from the coup to Xiomara Zelaya being the first female socialist president of the country where I was born, how can I not root for her? So I like bought a t-shirt of hers that I wear around, and people in America are like, what is that? But shout out to Xiomara Zelaya and the crew doing big things down there.
Pretty good. Pretty interesting. How about you, Jake?
Yeah. What does municipal socialist government look like? Something I've been reflecting on is that we have these visions of like, okay, what's next? What can the future be? And we got to look toward the future, but there's also all this stuff that we used to have that we should bring back. And looking to the past is a really good example. So like 2014, Jersey City changed our municipal waste contract from being in-house, where we take care of it ourselves, public good, public service, to privately contracting it out. And just the past 5 years, we had 5 years ago only one bidder out of all of these like trash garbage companies in North Jersey. If you've watched The Sopranos, you know what I'm talking about. Only one bidder for our waste services contract. How did that happen? And we got stuck with them for 5 years to the tune of $77.5 million of our city budget for all that time. And they do a horrible job. No,
are you worried about ending? Are you worried about disappearing when you break up this contract?
Dude, I was in my campaign office last month after I put out an op-ed about this exact issue. A middle white dude, I think backward baseball cap, stocky guy, walks into the office and is like, "Is Jake here?" And people point in my direction. And they're like, "Jake, someone from a garbage company is here." And my heart sank into my stomach. But he was just there to say that he thought it was a really well-written and good article. And he works for this other garbage company that does these other kind of services. But I was like, holy shit. Like, didn't see that coming.
Listen. I've been in politics in this part of the world for a while.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a really shady contract, I'm always like, that's interesting.
Exactly. You know what's under the surface. So I say all that to say we used to have these services be in-house. Let's remunicipalize those services. Same with our water. Right. We contract out to all these private companies like for basic utilities, water. Let's bring that back in-house. To the long-term plan of bringing that back.
So you want to nationalize it or municipalize it?
Yeah.
I mean, you want it to be a municipally owned company.
Because it used to be that way. We used to have those things. So it doesn't
it's
have
cheaper
to
do it that way. The privatizations did not work. They end up costing a lot more for worse service. That was a theory of neoliberalism that a lot of your political opponents probably still support and argue for. But we found, and this is one of the things, not to interrupt you, I just want to I have these kind of conversational style, shows. So the thing that is really interesting to me is, I've spent a lot of time in Vienna. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Vienna at all, but it has the nickname Red
Love
Vienna.
The cookies.
Yeah. just the cookies and the sausages. Vienna, in Austria has been under, the socialists or Social Democratic Party for over 100 years, except for the period when Austria was part of Nazi Germany. And they have 60% of the population of Vienna lives in social housing or, social housing or public housing. And they have large municipal corporations that operate and continue to provide these services at a super high level. And the city is the most livable city in the world, 5 times by The Economist. This is not just like lefty saying it. So we have like examples of really affordable housing, high quality housing, good public transit. Do you think that it is a good practice for politicians to look at currently existing examples that work and try to emulate them here in the United States? Or is the United States some sort of special place where the rules don't apply?
We're very special. We're very, very
We're
special.
Very special. We're the best. Number one.
For sure. We should absolutely be looking to places like Vienna and talking about social housing. And just like public housing that has dignity instead of this incredible stigma that we've attached to it. And Joel, I know you're going to say something. And Joel's my kind of big brother in this whole thing, so I want to show deference.
I'm 42. Yeah, as I often remind people.
Yeah, and I'm old too.
Yeah, I'm a dad, so I have dad joke privilege. Yeah, I don't think we're special. I mean, I think we're kind of especially bad in terms of
value for money.
What's that?
We don't get a lot we pay a lot in taxes, we pay a lot in the government, but it doesn't end up providing services. It's soaked up by so much inefficiency, bureaucracy, private and public, and there's not a lot of focus on outcomes. It's more like we made an attempt.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and to go to the sanitation thing in Jersey City, like what we say to voters is bring it in-house, make them good union jobs, preferentially hire local Jersey City or Hudson County residents, and they're going to do a good job. And, like people say, oh, this company sucks. And I don't want to sound anti-worker because I think that, listen, it's probably this company I don't think is unionized. But, bringing it in-house and having people say, hey, yeah, I'm Jersey City Sanitation, I'm union, local, whoever they want to organize with. And I have a living wage, I have benefits, I have retirement I can look forward to, and I'm proud to be keeping my city clean. I think it's a no-brainer, like why did we get away from that?
Sounds like a no-brainer to me. Okay, one question I have to ask for you is, why should they donate? Chat, here's what we're going to do. Is there anything that you're trying to raise money for? And also, how do they volunteer for people who don't have money but do have time? Which I've been there, so I want to make sure that we're not just pumping people for money, but I also want to make sure that they are volunteering. What are your projects you're working on? What are you trying to fund with campaign finance?
Yeah, I'll go really quickly, Jake, and just speak from a place of desperation, having lost a close race. In a local race that is decided by hundreds of votes, every dollar is sacred. And, it's about being able to, pay for a canvasser, or to do that extra piece of mail. It just goes, there's bang for your buck in a local race. And so if you have given to Zoran, that's great. He said he doesn't need it. I mean, he's in a general election, so maybe he needs it now.
They're trying to get to the maximum matching fund money, I think.
Yeah, he'll get there.
They get 4x max. So you don't need to worry about giving money to Zoran now.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, I get it.
So, we really stretch every dollar. And I'll let Jake pick it up from there and maybe talk about ways to volunteer remotely.
Totally. What Joel said, all very true. We are really the only conservative thing about these campaigns is how we spend this money, because we need to be so intentional. And yes, so please and thank you. Your donations go a really long way. What I'll say is what we're up against is some incredible, horrific donors on the other side. We have
who are your enemies? Like, let's be honest. Who are the people that are fucking with you?
All right, I'm about to name some names.
Some names.
We have a former scandalized governor who's running for mayor of Jersey City. And if this sounds like Andrew Cuomo in New York, it's because it's extremely similar. Jim McGreevey is running for mayor of Jersey City and is taking money from notable friends like Charles Kushner, Cassimatidis, I think is his name.
Cassimatidis, the grocery guy?
Cassimatidis.
Where you can get your $10 grapes? Yeah.
I mean, these are Trump mega donor loyalists. That campaign is getting money from a contractor that is actively engaging in wage theft and like extra exploitation of workers who are building a building in Jersey City right now. So he's getting money from the worst places. And because of the way these elections work in Jersey City, each mayor candidate has like a team, basically, of people they're running in these different wards. He has city council candidates in both the ward I'm running in and the ward that Joel's running in. So that money from Trump mega donors, from the right, from these revanchist capitalists, that's coming into our local races. And so this is why we really are doing the thing.
And he's running as a Democrat.
Yeah, they're all, and so I'll say that too. Basically, I don't think anyone in the race in Jersey City is openly a Republican, and I'll say openly.
Right.
I don't think anyone is calling themselves a Republican. It is a nonpartisan election. So there was not a primary for the mayor or for the city council races. And so, I'm proud to be running independently. We're running as Democratic Socialists. And when people ask me, so Jake, so you're the Democrat in the race? I say, well, no, it's a nonpartisan election. I'm a Democratic Socialist. I'm with DSA. If you know Zoran Mamdani, a lot of people do. They're excited about him. So again, another reason why you should be excited to chip in a little money and maybe volunteer with us is because this is independent campaigning. This is building power, even outside
the
of the
Democrats as well. Yeah, which is very valuable.
And you can go to our websites to volunteer. So I'm up in the Heights. Joel's on west side of Jersey City. We have the same URL except for our names. So jake4jc.com and joel4jc.com. Is that right, Joel? Am I lying about that? Or did we dovetail our?
I believe that's
Yes.
correct. I believe that's correct. And yeah, so if you guys are in the area, I got to tell you that for me, whenever I'm feeling depressed or I'm feeling kind of doomer, which happens sometimes, one of the things I say on my stream is doomerism is the last stage of your liberalism, which is that we need radical change, but the societies try to tell you it's impossible. So it's sort of like the thing that's keeping you in a mental prison, and it is to be a socialist is to be a radical optimist, is the idea that we can live in a better world, we can beat these people. And what I want you to understand is that all of these billionaires, they need to spend this money because their views are unpopular, because what they believe in is not what regular people intuitively believe is right and wrong. They have to pretend to be Democrats because they can't actually authentically exist as the, shill that they are. They have to hide who they are. And so we have the advantage of truth. We have the advantage of just speaking about what is and describing our lives. And they have to spend millions of dollars on spin doctors just to get to the same place. And losing by 100 votes shows you that people that are already with us, we just have to earn their trust. And that's where the volunteer work can help. Like it can help. It's like a mental health day for you. Canvassing can be tough. It can be intimidating. It can be hard to get started. But when you spend a day with comrades and with friends and you are fighting for something authentically true to what you believe, there's no better antidepressant for me than doing that work. So I really want to recommend anybody, if you enjoy my stream or you consider yourself the left winger at all, and you're within driving distance or mass transit distance of these guys, you should spend some of your time at the the end of this summer and into the fall helping them out. Because it's one thing to look at the world in despair, but the more important thing is to look out into the world and find places you can make it a little bit better. And so please, I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, help these guys out, help Jake out, help Joel out. And, I just gave you guys, a little contribution myself as you were speaking, because I want to make sure that everybody, gets the campaign that they know can win. And so please do support these guys. And is there anything else you guys wanted to say? It's going to be a long weekend, important weekend. Are there any projects or canvases that you guys are launching this weekend?
I think both of our campaigns are taking a bit of a breather this weekend, actually, because September, October, November are going to be just all gas, no break.
Yep.
So, and Mike, thank you for that pitch.
I hope you don't mind me preaching at you.
No. I love it. And what I'll say as one more option even is, if you don't have money right now, if you don't live anywhere nearby us, but you do want to support in some way, we are phone banking too. And calls from people who care about this movement and who want to see a better world. Even in a local race, it makes a big difference. So we have all the phone banking and all the door knocking and all the donation stuff all on our website. So yeah.
And just putting the fear in God in the bastards is great too. When they're worried about the left flank, they're going to start coming up with all sorts of programs that they suddenly believe in, because they're worried about you guys. So we want to make it so that the Democrats are afraid of the left and not constantly capitulating to the right. That is part of the. So even if any individual campaign may sink or swim based on some bad luck, but it's about building a repeatable machine. And I'm really glad, Joel, to hear that you're running again. A lot of people run once and they get discouraged, but you are dedicated to the fight. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so we have about 15 more minutes. Do you guys want to have a closing statement, each of you? And then we'll do one more appeal. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Joel, why don't you start us off?
Sure. So, my name's Joel Brooks. If you're just joining us, I am running for Ward B, Jersey City Council. That's the west side of Jersey City. And I'm a union organizer. I'm a dad. I'm a tenant. I was a rent control tenant for 9 years. And along with my neighbors, we had actually had to organize and sue our landlord because we were being illegally overcharged. Um,
Hell yeah.
and yeah, I'm in this fight to win an affordable Jersey City, and it's within our grasp. So if you have some money today, I know it's Friday. A lot of people get paid on Fridays.
Yeah.
Please show us some love with the joint link. And also, I want to do a specific call to any DSA members who are watching the stream. One thing you can do if you don't live in the area is every other Sunday, we phone bank for the national slate of endorsed candidates. So that's not just Jake and I, but other comrades like Kelsey Bond in Atlanta, Denzel McCampbell in Detroit. I'm impressing myself on remembering everyone's names. Yes, Zev Cook in Tacoma, Washington. Go off, Jake. Yeah.
I think Michael Renton, right, in Washington as well.
We have a candidate for mayor of Somerville, Massachusetts. And so that's one thing you could do is like 1 hour every other Sunday, we call other DSA members to fundraise for the slate. Those are the easiest organizing calls I've ever made. People are so friendly. They're happy to hear from us. So yeah, we need to talk to voters. We also need to talk to our base to raise money. So shout out to that phone bank every other Sunday.
Sounds great. Thank you. Thanks, Joel. Jake.
I will also just say thank you to Joel for running again. Joel's 2021 race, it was one of the first things I did as a new DSA member. And it taught me a lot about Jersey City. It taught me a lot about organizing. And Joel's been just an incredible mentor in this cycle. So thank you. And also shout out James Guzzo, campaign organizer, the treasurer of my city council race. If you want to just show face for 1 second, James is the super fan, Mike, who got us to be here today, who brought us all together.
Nice to meet you, Mike. Leslie in chat. Really, really humbled by the community response, and thank you so much for helping set this up.
Anytime. Solidarity.
He's rocking this beautiful shirt that can be yours. That can be yours if you go to jakeforjc.com.
We got him in the purple. We got him in the white. Check it out. Yeah, absolutely.
Glad to see that the Mike from PA heads are out there doing stuff. That's what we want.
Yes, you got me off the couch, Mike. So we're gonna keep it going. All right, man.
Beautiful, man. Thank you.
But truly, yeah, just thank you so much for having us on. This has been awesome. Really always excited to talk to more of the audience. And listen, these are winnable campaigns, as Joel said. We can really make a difference building Democratic Socialist power, working class power here in local government, and using these positions to help build our movement. So do everything that you can to support us, to support other campaigns across the country, wherever you may be. And solidarity forever.
All right, guys, thank you so much. And with that, I just want to urge all of you one more time to throw whatever extra, even if it's just $5, you know, it can do a lot to help. It could be an extra, box of paper clips. Like, you wouldn't believe how much even a little bit of money can do. So if you could throw a couple bucks in there, $27 is always a great number. Personally, what's the limit?
$5,600.
50s, Jesus Christ.
So if you want to donate $5,600 to each of us, you can do that.
5,600. Do we have any 5,600 heads? Oilers rise up. I didn't go that high, but that's good to know. In Pennsylvania, it's unlimited, so that's a little bit different. So at least you guys have
tough,
limits.
man.
At least you guys have limits. That's nice. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on, and keep us updated. You know, as we get closer, maybe we could do another GOTV event or something as we get closer to November.
That'd be great.
All right.
Let's do it.
I'm thinking about coming out east for November, so maybe I can swing by Jersey City. We'll see. Keep in touch. Keep in touch. We're gonna push you guys as hard as we can. So thanks for coming on. I love you guys. Super motivating, super humbling, and go ahead and say goodbye.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you to your audience. We're seeing the love flow in, and we appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bye,
Jake and
guys.
Joel. Good luck, guys.
Thanks.
All right. There you have it. There you have it, guys. We did our little bit of praxis. Isn't that nice? You know, we keep it going. I really like Jake and Joel running in a nonpartisan race, so they get to run as a DSA candidate. I threw them a few $100, chat, because that's what I do. I donated all my income for the day, plus a little bit more. So thank you, everybody, for helping them out. Thank you for supporting them. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of politics. I hope you enjoy these kind of interviews. I know it can be a little bit, it's like, what the fuck do I care about Jersey City? I know it could be like, Jersey City, what the fuck is that? But for socialism and for leftism to win, we have to actually put our money where our mouth is. We help people like Ryan Clancy out in Milwaukee. We help people who are running for office in these local and state elections, because that's how we build a socialist base. That's how we're going to get socialist Congress people. That's how we're going to get socialist candidates and leaders in the movement. And it's how we prove that we are a true electoral threat. So the Democratic Party is scared of us and capitulates to us. Because we need to do that to stop fascism like this that's growing all over the country.